The EV charging industry is messed up. Many EV charging businesses are losing money, and honestly, it's their own fault. They're creating their own problems because of dumb business models. I'm lifting the curtain to show behind the scenes on all the broken parts of this industry and what needs to be done to shift this in the right direction. The profits are fine if it's just one person or one entity collecting everything, but usually how it works with these business models, this is why I say these business models are kind of dumb. It's the pie is already small, and now you have 6 different people trying to grab as much as they can from this already small pie. The key here is you need to structure your business model so one person or one company is getting all those profits, and you can give up some other things. It's just like a negotiation tactic, I guess. You get this, I get this. But you don't want to share every single thing with every single person, because at the end of the day, there's not going to be enough that is really worth your time. So let's say you say, okay, I'll keep all the profits, but then you have to give something up. Then you might have to say, okay, well, I'll pay for the entire project, or we'll take care of all the service and the operation and the maintenance, but we then get all the profits. Don't be going to a location and offering to split everything up in 1,000 different ways, because you'll be stuck doing all the work and won't be receiving any of the real profit from it. And then the next thing that comes to mind is, well, who are you? Who are you as a company in the EV charging space? When people say EV charging business, there's 1,000 different things that they could be thinking of. They could be thinking of, probably the most common one would be the CPO, the charge point operator, which is they install the charger, they operate the charger, they're the one that's running the show on the charger, they're collecting all the money. But that's only one business inside this industry. You could be the electrician, the one that actually does the install. You could be the software provider, the one that's on the back end dealing with all the networking and the payments and everything. You could be a consultant like myself who is guiding people through the process of installing the chargers for an entire project and teaching them what to look out for. You could just be the supplier. You could just be the one that's importing the chargers from China or from wherever and reselling them to these charge point operators. Like, there's so many different avenues inside this industry that you need to pick your lane before you know which way you're going with this. And I want to go a little deeper into the different business models, because this is what frustrates me the most, and it's overcomplicated. There's too many different ways to set up a contract. And this is why I think there's a big problem with people adopting these EV chargers or saying yes to these offers, because it's confusing. There's too many different offers out there that are all so different. And one of the biggest things that I figured out when I was doing this was to make things as simple as possible. Like, keep things so basic, too basic. I've talked about this a lot. I have way more information about this in my course, so check that out below. Because if you go to someone and they don't understand it, even if it is a great deal, if they don't get it, they're not going to do it. And this is why I say it's confusing when you go to someone and say, hey, look, we'll put chargers in there, but you have to pay us for half the chargers. Of the profits that come in, we'll split that with you 50-50. Oh, you also have to pay us a networking fee every month of $50 for the software to operate the chargers. Oh, and then also there's something called carbon credits. We get those. Those have to do with the government. We'll take care of that. Oh, also there's a processing fee. So every time someone uses the charger, there's a credit card fee that goes on top that the drivers will need to pay. It's too much. The more simple you can make this, the better for everyone. And then before you get to even all of that, you need to know, okay, well, what type of location am I looking at? Because every different location has a different application. The building blocks are different for every type of location. So let's use a golf course, for example. So first of all, with a golf course, you need to figure out, well, what type of charger would be best to put there? Are we putting in DC fast chargers that are super fast where people can power up in 30 minutes and then keep it moving? Or do we want to go with level 2 chargers that are a little bit slower, but this makes more sense because they're going to be out there golfing for a few hours. So you wouldn't want to put DC fast chargers in. Someone plugs in, starts golfing. 3 hours later, their car is being charged for 2.5 hours, and you just lost all that business of other people that could have used it. So you need to really examine every different type of location and the different type of charging setup that would work best. Because also, if it's a golf course, who owns the golf course? Is this a city-owned golf course, or is this a golf course that's owned maybe by a chain? Or is this a locally owned golf course? If it's a locally owned golf course, I like that the best because I know I can go and talk to Billy Golf, who owns that place, and he's going to at least give me a yes or no answer on if this is a good call for him or not. But because this is a business, he's likely going to ask you for a percentage of the profits. Now, with Billy Golf, you can say, hey, Billy, look, the profits aren't crazy with EV chargers. We could give you a piece of the profits, but then you're going to have to operate these things all alone. Or if you want help and we'll take care of everything, then we'll take all the profits and we'll make sure everything's running perfectly as a great amenity to bring in more golfers to your location. So it's like how you pitch the offer. The easiest thing is to say, hey, yeah, take some money. But I would try to frame it in a way where it's like, look at all this other value that we're offering you because you want the profits. The profits are only going to increase with time. As more people drive EVs, those profits are going to go up. So the biggest hurdle there is that it's not a one-size-fits-all model. Once you learn how EV charging could work at one location, yeah, you might understand the bare bones of it, but then go and apply that to a different type of location. For example, if it's a chain, like imagine like Hilton Hotels, a giant chain across the world. Chances are they're not going to go forward with someone who just started their business last year. They want someone that has the experience and the service and the level of experience and professionalism that they would have. So because they're not trying to install a charger at one location. If Hilton rolls this thing out, they're going to put those chargers in every single one of their hotels. But you know what is also great with this mess is with uncertainty and shaky times, there's so much opportunity. If everything is structured and set in place and everybody knows the game, how it works, there's less ways to be creative. This is why I'm so excited about this industry is because wherever there's a gap, I see an opportunity. If there's way too complicated contracts and offers out there, that's a great opportunity for someone that's starting this business, really understands it, and can see a simple, clean way to bring this offer to potential clients. Right now, it doesn't really need to make that much sense. What the stage that we're in right now is it's a land grab stage. We're in the gold rush stage where everybody's just trying to get out there, grab a shovel, and stick that shovel in the ground. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to just get chargers in the ground. Contracts and terms and pricing, that's all relatively revisable. You can adjust that. You can shift it in the future. But getting your chargers in and installed, that's the hardest part. And if you have your own property and are considering installing EV chargers, specifically DC fast chargers, but you're not sure where to start, feel free to give me a shout and we can have a chat about all the different options that are out there for you, who I'd recommend to use as a supplier, and the different business models. I'll help point you in the right direction. And if you're thinking about starting your own EV charging business, take a look at my course below. It has so many valuable resources. I'm getting a lot of great feedback from people saying that it's really helpful. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one, then feel free to book a time in the links below. Thanks so much for checking in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers. Oh yeah, subscribe.